Hello everyone, today I got for you a sweet and short way to improve your digital art and make it look less, well, digital. By applying paper textures over your designs, you can add a soft touch and make them look more interesting. We will start by getting some paper textures. You can find free pictures on Pixabay. If you want to use textures for your work that you want to sell later on, ensure that the license of the downloaded pattern or the picture allows that. Or if you want to be 100% sure you're allowed to use the art, you can take a high quality photo of paper yourself and use it as an overlay for your work. I will show you in a future video how to create those. Once downloaded, you can save them into your gallery as a photo or in your download folder or any other folder for that matter as a file. Both work the same way. For now, we're going to go to Pixabay and download a free texture. Type in paper texture and you can choose the one that you like most. Don't worry if it's colored, we can change that later on in Procreate. Make sure that you choose the highest possible size of the picture that you're downloading. This will ensure there's no pixelation in the final results. Download as many as you want to have something to practice on. Now that you have it downloaded, choose your digital artwork. A quick tip, you can add an overlay layer before or after completing your artwork. Some people like to create in a clean digital look, some like to add that papery feeling straight away. Whichever way you choose, this is how you add it on and amend it. Make sure that you've got selected the top layer if your project has multiple layers, or the top group if everything is grouped. This will ensure that the picture that we will import will appear on top. Go to the wrench icon on the top left corner and choose Add. Now, depending whether you saved it in files or in a gallery, you will use either Insert a File or Insert a Photo. If you saved it as a photo, it will most likely be in your gallery. If you've downloaded it on the website, it will most likely be in your download folder. So we're going to choose Insert File and then we're going to go to Downloads. You can see all the files that you have downloaded over here. Once the picture imports, it will most likely cover the entire artwork that is below it. To make this layer see-through and adjust it to your liking, we have a couple of options. The first one, and I wouldn't recommend that one, is just to simply change the opacity of the layer. So you can change it by clicking on the mode of it and then adjusting the opacity of that. As you can see, the more we change the opacity, the less details we have, but the more we retain the opacity, the more overlay it creates and covers the picture below it. To avoid that and retain the texture of the overlay layer, we will change the layer mode itself. You can scroll through them to see each mode's effect on your artwork as well. I usually use multiply or darken for that old slightly grimy and worn effect, but in this case I think difference and exclusion would make a good choice as well, with some tweaking depending on your needs. Since the majority of my maps have been printed in books, I like to stay with the lighter theme and be gentle with the overlay itself. You'd be surprised how much darker your artwork looks like once it's not illuminated by the screen beneath it. I will choose multiply for this example. I will also change the opacity of this layer to around 55%. Experiment with your work to get the desired result. Next, we will go to adjustment on the top left corner, and this time we're going to choose hue, saturation and brightness, and you have to do it most likely for any texture that you download that is colored. In here you can either change it to black and white by decreasing saturation, or you can adjust the hue of it to represent that old worn paper like so. I'm happy with how that looks. You can also play with color balance and curves to adjust the picture to your liking in more details. Once you're happy with the result, you can adjust the size of the picture to be in the exact position you want it to be. I don't like those little patches here on the bottom, so I will move the map and increase the size of it. If you choose snapping on, it will align to the edge of the artwork as well. Some of the textures will work better than others, but they will add that extra dimension to your work and make it look less digital and more hand-drawn. It will also add details without overwhelming the picture itself if it needs to be reduced in size later on. Sometimes you just have to experiment a bit more. As you could see with this one, there isn't that much detail. So what I'm going to do, because it's already multiplying, I am going to duplicate this layer to add that extra dimension and for the details of the watercolor to be a bit more visible. It is a good practice to not merge the layers of your picture with the overlay layers, as you will be able to remove it quickly if you need to get that clean digital look if your map, for example, gets printed out. This is it for today. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for your support and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!